friends and family, welcome to You Plug. Welcome to the plug that keeps you plugged in. It's Friday 7 p.m. only on your channel of choice, and we are always excited to be bringing you quality content. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so that each and every time we post, you are notified of content. Bekele beke. Can you say that, Rev? Bekele beke.
Bekele beke.
Yes, there we go. That means week in, week out.
So with that said, I'm Mac, I'm the head and not the tail, I'm above and not beneath, I'm a child of the Most High God, blessed and highly favored, a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a nation belonging to God, to declare the praises of Him who has called me out of singleness into the beautiful world of marriage, and I am not alone.
Yeah. I mean, if you happen not to know who this guy is, nag opa wakara malegana. Gumnar nom suro gata fasa. Washa droga tagas. Gingidan gamazul gamul matuturusa. Gi goblo tabatur morumutul komaritsani. Buda komu utaramutu. Welcome, friends and family. Thank you for choosing You Plug as your channel of choice. We appreciate the love and the support that you continue to show on the channel. Just continue to share the channel, invite others to rally around, and let's have these important conversations about relationships and about God. And if you maybe are for the first time in this space, you may not know who this young man is. He's a friend of this channel, Reverend Errol Kerem. He's a pastor. He's a certified life coach, and he's a counselor, and he earned credentials for all those stuff. So we are sitting with a serious person right there. He likes to keep it low, and he does not like to say all of those stuff. But I'm just saying to you guys, we are sitting with someone who knows what they are talking about, who has experiences in relationships and all of those things. Rev, please say hi to the You Pluggers.
Yes, and so good to be here. And as a word of introduction, everything he says about himself is about me as well. So how about that? Whatever he said, I can't say it like he did, but yeah.
I'll borrow you my clan praise. We'll just make one.
Yes, but it's good to be here with you all. And I've been here in South Africa since 2019, and I love the place. I love the people. I've made good friends, and as well as I love to do this is fun for me. I enjoy this. This is part of who I am, and I look forward to sharing with you today. And I'm the operations manager here at Nazarene Theological College. My wife is a principal, and so she's my boss. I work for her, so I could tell you about what we'll talk a little about who is in charge. Well, I can tell you my wife is my boss. So just to start the conversation.
Yeah, man, you're already provoking thoughts there, but we don't want to go there. we don't want to go there. But yes, thank you for coming, Reverend. We appreciate the work that you do, the support that you show to this channel, the conversations we have even outside this place. We appreciate that, and we thought we should bring you in because we touched some serious stuff last week
But before you even get there, I just want to say how much I appreciate you two guys. And you guys have been treading some deep waters here in the conversations in the last few weeks. And so I really want to say, two young pastors having conversations that you don't hear young pastors talking about. We like to keep things very superficial, and very, but you two guys have tread some deep waters, and I appreciate the conversation and the way you are taking the viewers to really think more deeply about their relationships and what caused breakup and and what are the things that create challenges in relationships. So just from me, just looking and listening to you guys, I want to appreciate you for the places you choose to go.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a huge compliment coming from you, man. We really appreciate that. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Let's go right into it. I'm just I don't want to get carried away. The compliments sometimes can just but we really do appreciate that. So we want to kind of revisit some of what we spoke about last week and just hear your views on some of the stuff. I think we've mentioned those 4 points, and it has been said by others that those are the major contributors of relationships, whether they break or they leave. It's in those areas, and we spoke a bit more in depth, and we don't want to just repeat what we've just said, just to encourage those who can to just check our previous conversation. We spoke about those 4 things being criticism and defensiveness and contempt, and then stonewalling. Those are points where relationships rise and fall, and we thought we just want to learn your views on some of those issues. So let's get into it. I mean, outside this place, you phoned me to say I've watched the episode, and maybe you guys must come. Let's talk more about some of the stuff. And I thought it's better that we have those conversations today. With the you pluggers. So just even on criticisms, without even going into repeating what I've already already said. Why do you think people show up like that, and maybe even struggle to take in criticisms?
Well, I mean, fundamentally, people struggle with criticism because of insecurity. You know, they have this low sense of self. And so anything you say to them, they take it personally. But in the same way, for they to feel any sense of worth, they have to put other people down. You know, so when I criticize you, you know, I make you feel small, so I can feel that I have some kind of thing about me. You know, so it's really the struggle of, when someone criticizes me, I don't take it personally, because I realize that is not really my problem. It is their need to make me feel small, or to embarrass me, or to, you know, but it's really their issue. So criticism is really about the person who's criticizing. You know, because they are really struggling with their own insecurities, and they can't accept who they are, and they can't accept, you know, the things about themselves, or what they were told when they were growing up, or they're carrying some baggage about, you know, how they were told something about them that really caused them some pain. So now they show up. Even people who show up and they take over the room and they're very loud, it's insecurity. You know, they can't stand back quietly and just everything is okay. So when it comes to criticism especially, it is an issue of insecurity on the part of the person who criticizes all the time, or can't even receive criticism, you know, and be able to say, okay, so you're criticizing me, so I need to check, is that true? Or probably you just have your own issues, and you have to put me down in order for you to feel that way. So it comes from there.
But while you are still at that, I don't know if Meg wants to ask something, but while you are still on that, I mean, how should people take criticism? Like if people, I mean, I think you have already started on that, but I mean, so should we rule criticism out completely in a romantic relationship, or criticisms are allowed? It's a matter of how you are dealing with them, because I mean, there could be positive criticism. What do we do with criticism? Do we throw it out, or do we? How should a person respond to it?
So think of it. There's constructive criticism and there's destructive criticism. So you have to be able to, if someone is criticizing, there are people who say things to me and I know they mean well, so they want to help me. You know? And there are people who say things to me because of their own insecurity. You know, so I have to be able to recognize, is this meant to be constructive or destructive? And I could just tell by some people that their intention is destructive. You know, but then there are those who I can tell they're very constructive. But when I'm not sure, then I need to engage the people around me.
Because that's why I wanted to come in.
I need to engage people around me who knows me well and say, you know, Opa is saying, you know, Opa said this to me, but I tend to do this, you know. And I was reading a book recently, and the author was talking about this very thing, you know, where this very prominent leader was criticized.
Yeah.
You know, and he really was made to feel small in the criticism. And what does he do? He gathered 3 of his friends. You know, he contacted 3 of his friends, and he says, "This was said to me. You know, what do you think?" And these friends met without him.
Yeah.
You know, to talk about what was said to him. And then they got back to him and they said, "You know what? This is not true about you from how we experienced you."
Okay.
You know, so we need to have people in our lives who we could go to and say, you know, Oprah said this to me. You know, but that being said, okay, as I began the conversation about criticism, if you're insecure, you're not going to ask Oprah.
Yeah.
You know, you know, you can't even say it.
Yes.
Because now you're taking it in, and so you have to be able to have that sense of, I want to be the best that I'm trying to become. So when someone says something that is negative, meant to criticize me, and I'm not sure if it's meant to be destructive or constructive, then I need to have friends so close that I could say, "This was said. Do you think that's true?" And be willing to hear the truth. If they say, you know, you tend to do that, they need to be open to say, "Okay, I appreciate that. I'll work on that."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
without even, you know, trying to stretch this, you know, too long, is it? Do you think it's a good basis for somebody to leave a relationship because they feel like they're being criticized destructively? Is it a good basis to leave the relationship? I mean, I'll just say romantic relationship before marriage, to do that.
Yeah. If the criticism is relentless, you know, the other person doesn't seem to care about your well-being. How can you tell me I want to have a relationship with you and I care about you, but I'm spending my time criticizing you in a destructive manner? That's not a healthy relationship. And ultimately, you got to understand what happens to you in the relationship is not what the person is doing to you, is what you're allowing to happen to you.
Oh, okay.
So you got to have to set your boundaries. You got to be able to say, you know what, this is not healthy for me. You know, and I don't need to stay in this. You know, so you have to take responsibility for your well-being.
Okay.
You can't leave that to the person that you know, whether you're married or you're just dating. Your well-being is your responsibility, and therefore to leave that to the person and say, well, if you treat me better, I'll be better. No. If you're not treating me well, I don't have to stay and be treated in that way. I could say I don't need to stay in this relationship because you need to take care of you before you can take care of someone else. So no, that'd be my response.
I think that's powerful. You need to take ownership of how people treat you. Draw those boundaries there.
And just to say this, too many people stay in relationship saying that, oh, they will change, you know, or because, you know, I love them too much, and in the meantime you're being destroyed. You know, and you're being made, you're embarrassed in public, you're being made to feel small, you can't speak up, you know, and they're telling you things about you, they're putting you down, and in the meantime it's their own insecurity, and guess what's beginning to happen? You are now beginning to become like them. Because they are spending all this time. So I say, first thing is first, you enter a relationship that is not helping you to grow and become better, but is only beating you down or you know, being destructive. You don't need to be there. You don't need to be there.
Wow. I think let's park that. I think you've given it some serious thought. But I think this one kind of feed on to the next one. Maybe let me, before I even go to this one. So part of because we've quoted that this is what we've got from this particular site. Part of what was mentioned there was that, you know, this is mostly a women problem. Like it's women who normally criticize. I don't know what's your view? As someone who works on relationships and who have been observing relationships, would you say this is?
No, I'll say back to what I said earlier. We hear it that way, you know, because women tend to pay more attention to detail than men do. It's just a normal thing. You know? And they observe the little things that's missing. You know, and so they'll pick it up and they'll talk about it. You know, and it's not meant to be a criticism as to say a negative thing. It's just meant to say, this is missing, this is not happening, why is not happening? You know, they say it that way. But if I am defensive, if I'm insecure, then I'm taking that personally. You know, see? But no, it's a lot of times they're just talking about things that are missing, things that are not happening. You know. But that being said, I think the fundamental thing that we have to place at the feet of criticism is the insecurity. And that could be a man, that could be a woman. It doesn't matter.
Got you.
What I find is, and I was talking to a couple, you know, some time back, and many couples have found this to be, if one person feels especially with the lady. If the lady has the job and she's bringing in the money, and the guy, he's struggling with his own security that he's not doing that well. So anything she says is a criticism. Anything she tried to do,
complain about what I'm doing.
He takes it personally because he's thinking that she's attacking him, but she's not. He's just sitting in his own security of, I'm the man, here's my wife, she's employed, she's bringing in the money, and I have to depend on her if I have to buy something. So he sits there and think, you're always criticizing me, you always know. She's not always criticizing you. Your insecurity is hearing everything as a criticism.
Okay.
So that's good.
I think that's a whole lot of work that the person needs to do, because then I think this will automatically fit into the second one, the defensive. If you have not done that, if you have not dealt with those insecurities, then automatically you have, because defensiveness was also mentioned as part of what causes relationships to collapse. Then if you have not dealt with those things, if someone points something about you, then you already are defensive. I don't know what's your view on that.
That's excuse me, that's right, and that ties into the whole conversation here about the insecurity. I'm defensive about me because I already feel so fragile about me. So if you're telling me stuff about me, I'm gonna shut it down. A lot of the conflict in relationship is we don't know how to listen. We take everything personally. So just think of it this way: if someone is telling you something, they're upset at you, they're trying to explain something to you that you've done. You're sitting there thinking about giving an answer to what they've been said to you.
You're already cooking an answer.
Yeah, you're cooking an answer. So, and more times than not, you haven't even heard what the person said to you yet. You know, all you're just stuck on the answer. You got to defend you. You know, and I usually say to couples, when you're having these conversations, you need to just listen. Just listen and ask more questions. So are you saying that this is what happened? Are you saying, but we don't even ask questions. We just hear something and we want to defend ourselves.
But I've seen people you are asking the question, is this what you are saying? You are not even listening. You are not even paying attention. Then I guess on that case it will be both parties will then need to do the work, because then sometimes you encounter a situation where when you try to do that to understand better, then on this side it's like, are you even listening? Are you even paying attention? So I guess then that will then point back to both parties having to do the work.
And in the relationship, then you have to ask yourself, what do we want out of this conversation? I'm going to have a conversation with my wife because I'm upset about something. But I need to be asking, what do I want out of this conversation? What am I working towards? Why am I going to talk to her? Do I want to resolve this? Do I want to blame her? Do I want to make an excuse? Why do I want to have this conversation? Because whatever is driving the conversation is what I'm going to pursue. If I'm going in this conversation and make my wife look bad because I feel she was wrong, that's my goal. So when I'm done there,
and my goal is just to communicate that.
Yes, and there's this popular phrase now we call it's gaslighting. And that's what I do. I go in and I have my mind made up, and when I leave the room, there she needs to feel as bad as as she ever can, because that's my goal.
Cut Rev.
That's too personal.
But that's true. And that speaks also, I think, to insecurities, that your defensiveness is so that they can see how bad they are. Sometimes, or how wrong they are, and you don't necessarily want to say it and put it that way, but you want them to see it and kind of maneuver it in the conversation that they are the ones that are wrong, or the ones that are at fault. So it's. And I think just to add to that, it's you might say that you're not. Looking at this conversation in a broader sense, that you might say that you're not an abusive man physically, but I can see how this sort of interaction with your spouse or with your partner can be abusive in that.
Emotional abuse.
Emotionally abusive. So I'm just seeing how careful one needs to tread through, this relationship, in that though you may not be abusing them physically,
yes,
but your approach in conversation, in your defensiveness, so that and protecting your own insecurities can come across as that. Yeah.
And we could go. This is a whole other conversation, but I'll just put it in here. Yeah. This, sometimes no abuse is acceptable, but just to show the exaggeration, what point I want to make. Sometimes a physical slap is less painful than the emotional abuse we put on the people that are close to us. The maneuvering and the manipulation and the verbal abuse and the way we have such emotional control over them that they're in public and they still, they have to look at you and your eye, the way you just move your eyes and so especially in the Christian context, we boast about how we're not physically abusive, but the kind of emotional and verbal abuse we do to each other, it's shaming, and we call ourselves followers of Jesus Christ, but we treat each other in such ways. We say words that are meant to cut deeply, and leave emotional wounds. So now we know the right words to say to make you feel small and humiliate you and without even touching you.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah.
So that's dangerous.
But that's
I don't want to miss this opportunity, Rev. I want to move to the other one, the last one. I will skip the contempt to the stonewalling, but I don't want to miss this opportunity to kind of. So this is the person they are watching this episode. They hear what you are saying. It resonates with where they find themselves, be it as a recipient or as a perpetrator.
Right.
Where to from there? Maybe let's talk to a Christian man or even a woman, the one who perpetrates this kind of behavior. What do we say? Where to from here?
And that's a good question, and I think it starts with pausing and recognizing this is in me. This is not to do with the person that that is doing, whether they're doing it to me or I'm doing it to them. Because if they're doing it to you, it means you're allowing it. If you're doing it to them, meaning you are perpetrating it. So it begins with you. You have to stop and say, why am I allowing this, or why am I doing this? What about me? And from there, and one of the things we don't do well is we don't sit in the discomfort well. Once the discomfort sets in, we want to put on a song or go do something, watch a movie or something, so the discomfort kind of goes away. But to learn.